Hi friends, it's Randy Shrum here, and over the next few minutes, I want to share with you a revolutionary thought. Now, no matter how you made it to this video today, whether you found us online or someone shared this video with you, I want to share with you a big thought, and I want to encourage you as I get ready to share it, that you commit to staying with me for just a few minutes, no matter how uncomfortable it makes you feel. And the reason why I say that is I'm about to share a sacred cow busting thought. And that thought starts with this. Money does not start in your hands. All right, let me repeat that. Money does not start in your hands. If you're looking for money today, if you're looking for ways to pay the bills or to buy that next car or to go on a family vacation, what I want you to know is that money doesn't start in your hands. It first starts in your head. And I got started back in 1999, and I read this book called Multiple Streams of Income. And it really revolutionized my thinking. And what I read and when I saw that is that the educational system and what I'd been taught growing up was completely contrary to me being able to be an entrepreneur and be my own business owner. And for some of you watching this right now, the word entrepreneur or your own business owner is completely foreign. But stick with me. You see, the education system does not teach you how to make money, right? It doesn't teach you how to make money. It teaches you how to work in a broken industrial age model that is obsolete. You say, whoa, Randy, wait a minute. What do you mean obsolete? Broken? Yes, it is broken. Look, when you lay your head down at night and you don't know if you're going to have your job tomorrow in corporate America, not because things aren't great at the company, but simply because maybe they're trimming their bottom line, and one of the ways that they do it is layoffs. And some of you would go, whoa, that's just wrong. Why would they do that? That's greedy. That's called capitalism, okay? And that's the reality, is that that's capitalism. But look, the age that we live in is you don't have companies that will keep an employee for 30 or 40 years anymore. But that's the way our educational system teaches people and educates them and tells them, go get a good job, go get a mortgage, go get a car, and work 40 years of your life. And by the way, when you retire, you're going to retire on half of what you made when you were working, which wasn't enough already to pay for the bills. And all of that 40 years of working, the reality is that you spend 10 hours a day away from the home that you're paying a mortgage on so that you can pay for the mortgage, and you spend at least 8 or 10 hours a day away from their family and the people that you love so dearly that you're working so hard for. So in reality, you end up working more and staying away from the people that you love and the things that you enjoy more than you're with them, because you've bought into this broken industrial age model, which has no security at all. You know, it's a riskier bet. It's a bigger gamble today to continue to stay in that model. Now, like I said, if you've made it this far, I want to commend you, because I asked you to stick with me as I kind of shared some sacred cow busting thoughts. But look, you know, the world is in a financial crisis. We know that. It's in a career crisis, and today's world is different than the way it used to be. And the old ways no longer work, okay? It's time to stop suffering, and that only happens with what? True financial education. But that's not going to come from the regular public educational system. That's going to come from people deciding, you and I deciding, to go read the books, to go find the people who are successful entrepreneurs, put yourself in the room with those kind of people, rub shoulders. You know, I always like to say this. If you're the smartest person in the room, you're probably in the wrong room. So go find a group of entrepreneurs who are more successful than you, who are earning 6 and 7 figures, even 8 figures. Put yourself in those environments and start learning from them. That's called the power of a mastermind. And if you don't know what that is, research it. That is where 2 plus 2 no longer equals 4. It could equal 5 because of the synergistic elements that are in the room when you put that much brain power together. And I can tell you from my years of working from home and owning my own businesses is that I have seen so much power in associating with people who are smarter than me and more successful than me. Go read the books. Go find the books by successful entrepreneurs like Kevin Harrington, Donald Trump, Mark Cuban, and Robert Allen, and so many others that have paved the way. And read those books. Study, become a student, become a sponge. Change your thinking. Change your thinking and ask yourself, when you're reviewing your financial situation and you're reviewing where you're at in your career, am I thinking like an employee or am I thinking like an entrepreneur? Because you know what? They're two totally different things. Employees think in an obsolete industrial age model, which isn't secure, which is probably, in my opinion, one of the biggest gambles you can do today. Or am I thinking like an entrepreneur? Am I thinking of ways to create income, right? Because it starts in your head, not in your hands, where in the industrial age model, that's where it is. And start looking at that. You know, here's another good little exercise is Forbes magazine has written several times on this very topic, and it's called The Great College Hoax, and you can Google it. And this is a great article, and they've written it a couple times, and I'm not knocking college. Please don't misunderstand me. I know some of you watching this have got masters and doctorates, but here's the reality of that study is that when you compared those who went to college and those who didn't, the incomes were just about the same. Yeah, their incomes were just about the same. That is staggering thought, and therein lies the problem, in that the hoax of you know, now there's obviously a caveat to that, some big major Ivy League schools, but at the end of the day, that's something you could go look at, and you want to reprogram your thinking about money. You really do. You want to start thinking in a way that allows you to become an entrepreneur, and rethink what is truly financial security. Right? I think we can all agree at this point in this part of the video is that I think I do need to really reevaluate what is true financial security. And also, while you're doing that, think about, you know, as you're evaluating that, what would I do if I had more time? What would I do with my family? Why would I want my own business? Or why would I want to work from home or be an entrepreneur? What are the plus and minuses of that? Maybe I could spend more time with my family. Maybe I could go on more vacations. Maybe I could work remotely anywhere in the world. What could I do? What do I love? What am I passionate about? So weigh the options. Consider the cost. You know, there's a cost to being an entrepreneur because it is such a new world when you decide to do it that it's completely foreign. Remember, the education system doesn't teach you how to make money. So it really doesn't teach you how to be an entrepreneur. Now, there are educators and people and teachers who teach from an educational position on entrepreneurship, but the majority of that, you ready, is theory. They've never done it in the real world, okay? And so, another sacred cow, right? So consider the cost, but at the end of the day, look, decide to take action. And if you want to hear anything that I'm sharing with you is that I would take action today. I would say, you know what? I need to get around a group of entrepreneurs who are successful and consider the marketplace. Where are the hottest trends, right? And undoubtedly, the biggest trend right now is online. And most shoppers and buyers are all moving online. And so anyway, that's it for today. I just wanted to share that with you, get your thinking going. Some of you, it probably it really was a shocker. And for some of you, you were like, yes, this is what I've been believing. This is what I've been thinking. And wherever you're at in the spectrum, I encourage you to reach out to whoever referred you to the video. There should be a link below this video as well, and reach out to us and take the next step in your journey. Maybe find out what books you should read. Maybe find out about some potential masterminds or groups that you could associate with, and decide to become truly financially secure by your own decision, and don't let that be determined by somebody else. And here's my last thought. Why is it that on Monday morning, heart attack rates increase by 35%? Thank you. I'm Randy Shrum, and I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video.